Hello, this is Kate from Daily Tarot Girl, and welcome to your weekly tarot forecast reading. So I am using the Slavic Legends Tarot, and I decorated my tree. Woo! I don't know if you can see it very well. There we go. So I decorated my tree. So I thought it would be nice to have like a nice kind of Christmassy backdrop for my tarot reading. So one thing I'll mention before I dive into the reading is that I'm going to be live on my YouTube channel doing free one-card readings on Thursday. So December, I think that's the 19th. It's a Thursday at noon Pacific time, and I'll put the link in the comments and just kind of below this video. So yeah, I'm going to be doing a tarot party. So come hang out with me, get a reading, and it's going to be really fun. Okay. All right. So let's see. Let's zoom in a little here. Let's start with the first card. So we have the Two of Coins for the beginning of the week. So Monday and Tuesday we have Two of Coins. I'm actually just going to slide another card in behind just so my cards stand up straight. Otherwise they have kind of a weird lean. Okay, that's better. All right, so we have the Two of Coins for the beginning of the week. Now, Two of Coins or Two of Pentacles, this is all about balance. Balance is kind of the one keyword that stands out to me with this card. So beginning of the week is about balancing things out. And I do find that like this time of year, there's usually a lot of like responsibilities and social events happening, and your to-do list might be a little bit bigger than normal. So there might be a lot going on for you. So striking a balance is going to be important and kind of keeping all the balls in the air. But I'm really taken with a couple things on this card. Now, one thing is that this pixie or fairy or whatever she is, to me looks very bogged down. Like she's got the antlers on her head that kind of look heavy. She's got this wreath thing on her head. I don't know what you call that, like a flower crown. She's got all these like roots and vines kind of attached to her and draped over her. And to me, it just looks kind of heavy and like her movement is a little bit restricted. And then she's trying to kind of balance on this tree branch and balance out these two pentacles that she's holding. So you may feel a bit bogged down at the beginning of the week. You might feel a little bit stressed or like you've got a lot on your plate. So finding a balance, focusing on finding that balance is going to be important. And then we have the Ten of Wands for the middle of the week. So Ten of Wands for like Wednesday, Thursday-ish. And this just goes with that theme. So the Ten of Wands is all about feeling overburdened. Here we see this woman who's trudging through the snow with a pile of wood, pile of branches on her back. It's nighttime. She's kind of trudging through the snow. And it's that feeling of like having a lot to carry, having a lot of responsibilities, having a lot of things on your to-do list. So that's kind of the theme so far this week. Now, the invitation of the Ten of Wands, first of all, I'm drawn to the lantern. So that lantern that's lighting the way, to me, that reminds me of that phrase that there's light at the end of the tunnel, that like you're almost there, just one last push. That's kind of what I get with this card. But the invitation of the Ten of Wands is to lighten your load a little. Is there some way that you can simplify things? Is there, not everything on your to-do list necessarily needs to be done right now. Like what kinds of things can you actually just take off that list? Is there some way to make things simpler or easier? Is there a way that you maybe can ask for help or delegate or just cross something off your list? You probably don't need to do everything on your list. Whenever I make a to-do list, like there's the things that absolutely have to be done. And then there's a lot of stuff that like I want to get done, but realistically, I'm probably not going to get it done. And it's not the end of the world if it doesn't get done. So really kind of prioritizing and figuring that out. Then when we get to the end of the week, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you have the Wheel of Fortune. All right. So Wheel of Fortune is an interesting one. Now, in the Slavic Legends Tarot, this is in this deck, it's depicted as a loom, like a weaving wheel, and I'm thinking of like weaving a tapestry. And here we have these like the fates, the hands of fate, kind of weaving that tapestry. But it makes me think of the need for centering. So the wheel, the only reason the wheel can do what it does is because of its center, the center supporting it. The wheel would not be a wheel without that center. So the center is very important. And the wheel is an invitation to get centered. Now, if you situate yourself on the outer edges of the wheel, every time that wheel rotates, you really feel the ups and downs in a really dramatic way. But if you move towards the center, if you get centered, you can observe the movement, you can observe the change and all the drama without getting sucked into it. So that's kind of the overarching message of the Wheel of Fortune, is to get centered. So I feel like all of these cards are kind of saying the same thing. We've got Two of Pentacles telling us to get balanced and prioritize balance at the beginning of the week. 10 of Wands is saying maybe you have too much on your to-do list. See if you can kind of simplify things and lighten your load a little. And then Wheel of Fortune is saying, okay, you need to take a deep breath, get yourself centered, center your energy. I feel like all of these cards are saying kind of the same thing, but in very different ways. So let's look at all of these cards together. And I'm actually just gonna bring this up a little. For some reason, it's bugging me that I was like just seeing the stand. It was like really standing out to me. Okay, so I will say that like all of these cards have quite a bit of movement in them. None of these cards feel stagnant. So it feels to me like this is a busy week. There's a lot going on. There may not be a lot of opportunity for stillness and to just sit and do nothing. And that might be part of the problem. That might be kind of the thing you need in order to get centered, in order to not feel really burdened and really stressed and overwhelmed, is just to have, some stillness. But I'm just going to look a little closer. Again, just looking to see if there's anything else jumping out at me. Wheel of Fortune is also a symbol of change. Now, I know last week in this position we had the Death card, which is a symbol of change. Wheel of Fortune is another symbol of change, and it's this idea that the world keeps turning and things are in constant flux, things are in constant flow, everything's in motion, nothing stays the same forever, things are always shifting and changing. But at the same time, there's patterns. So even though the wheel is constantly turning, it's kind of going in the same direction. It's doing the same movement. And so while everything's always changing, there's also cycles. There's cycles and there's patterns. And so if you didn't do something the way you wanted to the first time, you may have another opportunity the next time. That's kind of the message I'm getting with Wheel of Fortune. Pay attention to the cycles. Pay attention to the patterns. And there's all different ways we experience cycles in our lives. Like we have the lunar cycle. You could think of the week. It's kind of a cycle. We have, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then that repeats. There's yearly cycles. Astrologically, there's all different cycles and things like that happening. There's menstrual cycles. There's the cycle of just the Earth turning, like each day it's a cycle. So paying attention to those cycles. And I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else I want to add here. As always, I invite you to share your own thoughts on these cards and to share how these cards made sense to you, how they might show up in your life. I always love to read comments, so feel free to leave me a comment. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It really helps my channel if you subscribe. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful week.